What's up, everyone? Welcome to part 2 of What You're Missing. Obviously, I've been playing Destiny, and a lot of it. And so today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about weapons, both raid weapons and exotic weapons, and some of my thoughts on what's going on there. So, you may or may not be aware that in Destiny there's multiple levels of quality to the gear that you get. There's the standard, which is white. There's uncommon, which is green, and it's not that uncommon. There's rare, which is blue, which when you're 20 is still not that rare. There's legendary, which is very rare. And there's exotic, which is, so it's like yellow, purple, blue, green, white. All right, so Destiny or Bungie has set up the game such that you can only equip one exotic weapon at any point in time and one exotic piece of armor. Now you can swap it around in the middle of a gunfight. Not a gun show. This is a gun show. We're not talking about gun shows. But you can swap it around real time in the middle of a fight, and there's no penalty. But you have to, like, unequip the one exotic, equip a legendary or whatever it is that you're going to use in its place, then go equip the other exotic, and it takes a little bit of time. So I do a lot of swapping around. At this point, I've got a lot of different exotics, and unfortunately, a lot of the exotics are not better than their legendary counterparts. So first, let's talk about raid weapons, which are all legendary for the most part, and then second, let's talk about exotics. So I have gotten thus far the raid sniper rifle, rocket launcher, shotgun, and let's see, sniper rifle, rocket launcher, shotgun, and auto rifle. So the auto rifle, all of them do different types of damage. So the shotgun does arc damage, which is the blue damage type. The rocket launcher does solar, which is red or fire. The sniper rifle and the auto rifle both do void damage, which is purple. And most of them offer bonuses to, or all of them offer bonuses to killing oracles. So that's nice, although I'm not sure anybody would use the sniper rifle, the rocket launcher, or the shotgun, maybe the shotgun, to kill oracles, because it's just too difficult. So that said, the one that gets the most use is the auto rifle, obviously, because it's a primary weapon. And it's really nice to have a primary weapon that does elemental damage of some kind. Now this is void. I'd really like to get my hands on Fatebringer, but that only drops in hard mode, and that's a hand cannon that does arc damage. It also has an explosive. It does part of its damage in explosive damage at impact, and if you kill something with precision damage, that thing explodes as well. So that's really pretty awesome. So that's my dream weapon. I got some people's dream weapon last week or last weekend, which was the Vex Mythoclast. Drops from Atheon in hard mode. And over this week, I've leveled it up to maximum. And the weird part is that the Vex Mythoclast, even though it drops as a raid weapon, it's a primary weapon that is a fusion rifle that does solar damage. So think about that for a second. But it's not like a normal fusion rifle in that you have to charge it up and then it releases a burst. This one fires single shots, and if you hold it down, it fires it's like an auto rifle that does void, or that does solar damage. So I don't know. Anyway, it's supposed to be the best weapon in the game. I don't really like it all that much. I've got a lot of problems with the ammo it gives you. I always find myself running out even when I'm not on a juggler mission. I don't have enough ammo capacity for it. The magazine size can be raised from 21 to 56, but in doing so, it doesn't affect the overall ammo count, which is really stupid. So if I'm not wearing a bunch of fusion rifle gear, which most raid gear doesn't have specifically fusion rifle called out, then all I have is 102 rounds, and I'm kind of hosed. So yeah, it's an interesting weapon. I don't really like it very much. So there you have it. But Atheon's Epilogue, which is the auto rifle, I do like that. I use it quite a bit, especially because this week's Nightfall and Weekly are Void Burn, and so doing Void on all three weapons is really nice. So let's talk about exotic weapons. So the Vex Mythoclast is an exotic weapon, so I can't use an exotic sniper rifle like Icebreaker if I'm using that as my primary, so that's another knock against it. So I'd have to go and like take out my primary weapon, swap it in with something else, probably Atheon's Epilogue, and then put on Icebreaker for the times that I need to do some sniping. Why I don't use Praedyth's Revenge, which is the raid sniper rifle, is because the impact level on it is low. It's got high stability, but it doesn't hit for very much, and it gives you 6 rounds in a clip, and you max out at like 24 total. So I can either hit Atheon for 12k, 10 to 12k in his soft spot when you've got the Times Vengeance buff on you, or and you get like 8 shots off before you run out. Now granted, there's a huge kick on Icebreaker, but it's for doing 10 to 12k a hit, it's kind of worth it. Compare that to 5 to 6k with the raid sniper rifle, and you get maybe 6 or 8 shots off as well, maybe 8 to 10. So if we're doing the math, I guess let's be generous. So 60k from the Praedyth's Revenge, which is the raid sniper rifle, versus 80 to 96k for Icebreaker, and that's just, there's no comparison. So it's not worth using. So to swap out Vex Mythoclast in a pinch just so I can use the sniper rifle I need, it doesn't make any sense. And to go back and forth in the middle of a fight it's not realistic. So that brings us to the other exotic weapon. So I've got Thorn, I've got the Last Word, which is apparently from what I read, the yin to the yang of Thorn. So Thorn has a clip of 6, takes a hell of a long time to reload. It does some damage over time after the fact, and it's got a relatively quick firing rate, but it doesn't have very good stability, so it's got a lot of recoil. It doesn't do as much damage as other guns its size. Overall, for an exotic, it's not a great gun. Where I do use it, though, is in the Crucible. I've probably at least 8 to 10 times now, and I don't Crucible very much, so take that for what it's worth. But for at least 8 to 10 times now using that gun, I'll have shot somebody 3 times. They won't be dead. They'll run around the corner, and then they'll die to the damage over time. There's something very satisfying about that. Or they'll be taking damage from the 1 or 2 shots that I landed. Someone else will hit them, and then my damage over time will kill them, and I'll get the kill credit. So that's kind of nice as well. Otherwise, I don't use Thorn. I've got it completely upgraded to 300 because it was the first exotic weapon that I got, and I was really excited, and then I realized it was crap. I've pretty much constantly been using the Devil You Know, which is a legendary hand cannon from the Vanguard vendor. 12-round clip, does more damage than Thorn and the Last Word as far as impact. It's got a low recoil, reloads quickly. I mean, it's all around, it's a good gun. So I recommend that. You don't have to swap it out if you need to use a different gun for an exotic, and it opens up possibilities for heavy or special weapons for that. The Last Word I picked up just a couple days ago. It's got a clip of 8, which is obviously better than 6, but I don't know. It doesn't hit as hard as some, but I'm waiting to upgrade it because it's got this ability that staggers things that gets hit by it. And it does a little extra bonus damage for some of the rounds in the clip as well. So we'll see what the effect of that is. The really interesting thing is that it's got its own animation where the guy spins it around his finger every time you get off your mount or you re-equip it from another weapon. Every time it comes out, boom, spins it around into his hand, which is kind of cool. So I'm using that. I haven't upgraded it fully yet, and I'll let you know when I do. I told you about Fatebringer. I've got a Suros Regime because I bought one when it was for sale last week from Zur. I don't use it very much. I don't use auto rifles very much, and these days when I do, I use Atheon's Epilogue because it does void damage, so might as well. And it's legendary and it doesn't use up an exotic slot. So more and more I find that's sort of a selling point for me. So if I can get a weapon that does what I want it to do and it's legendary and not exotic, great. That opens me up for using things that I might want to level up for experience, or that I might need, because I need arc damage in my heavy, or whatever the case may be. I also got Hard Light. Granted, I got 2 Hard Lights within like a day of each other. So Hard Light I actually might enjoy using, and unfortunately to make using because it's a primary auto rifle, its thing is it starts with a clip of 40 and it fires blue rounds, and once you upgrade the gun, those rounds pierce targets. They over penetrate and they ricochet off of surfaces. So that'll be interesting to see how that works in any situation, whether it's PvP or PvE. And I really like the sound of the gun, so maybe that's what my problem is with the Suros regime. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm trying to level up Hard Light. I just started that today, so it'll be a while before that gets leveled up. And I'm trying to do that in conjunction with the Last Word. And if you can only equip one exotic, this is a problem. So either I need to focus completely on one until that's done and then focus on the other, or I'll just split it and then they'll both level up slower. So I don't know. I did the Crucible this week a little bit, and I played a salvage game and we lost terribly. Now granted, this is my first time playing salvage, so maybe if I knew more of what I was doing and I actually had a shotgun, since it was close quarters, maybe things would be different. I don't know. Right now, I don't like it. I need to get 20 captured points or assist in capturing point 20 times in salvage in order to get a trophy. I'm pretty close to getting the platinum for this game, but I need to complete a raid without dying, without anyone on the fire team dying, which I don't know how we're going to do that. I need to complete a strike with my team. What I forget what they're called, but you know, your guild of sorts, whatever it is, my group. So I need to complete a strike with completely filled with my group, and then I think I'm done. So yeah. All right, so that's all I got for today with Destiny. If you have any questions about armor, stats, or weapons or anything, talk to me. I'm learning more every day, and I'm happy to help you out. So if you want to play, look me up. I'm Vindictus on the PlayStation Network, and I like playing with new people. So yeah, look me up. All right, thanks for tuning in. Hit subscribe, press the thumbs up because you want to give me a thumbs up because it's thumbs up worthy what's going on here. And yeah, I'll see you next week, or I'll see you on some streams this week. Hopefully we'll get some streams, because also on the 2.00 patch, they allowed you to include party chat in the stream. There you go. Great update there. All right, I'll see you next week.